You was the hat guy.
Actually, the hat kind of complements the shirt for some reason too. I feel like I should be wearing a gold chain.
Ooh.
Right? Like I look like Jack Harlow.
Oh my God. This
chain, the curly hair.
Hi guys. Then you can rap some Eminem raps.
Then I can what?
Then you can spit some Eminem raps.
Does Jack Harlow rap like Eminem? Is that what you're saying? Welcome back to Sketching Up. Recently people have been like, where are they? They were there like all the time. They were there for me constantly. And now we're barely there for you. And it's not because we don't want to be. It's because we're busy. We're busy people. But we're back again with another episode of Sketching Up. This is episode 22, I think. 23 maybe. Somewhere like that. I should have probably seen that before. I'm your host, Chris Schnabel. I'm with Kyle Scott. Kyle, the God Scott. How we doing?
Just chilling. Just chilling, bro. You know what I'm saying? Drinking my water.
Throw that out.
Bars. Oh, blurry.
Labelless.
You feel me?
Labelless water.
Drinking
we don't have enough money to get sued, so they can't do that anyway.
True that. Just drinking my water, eating some health bars. You know what I'm saying? Trying to stay under.
Now, your health bar. How good is that actually for you? Have you ever read the package? Have you ever read the label? Because a lot of stuff they'll put health or good or
it's a Cliff Bar.
High in fiber is a big one. Like, it's high in fiber and low in calories, and then you look at it, it's like 52% sugar.
Yeah. No, it's just a Cliff Bar. I don't eat many Cliff Bars though. It's not like I'm eating.
Like, it sucks. Like protein bars they're not terrible for you because like if you need a pick me up or you can't get to lunch, I think they're so
That's
gross.
why I eat them. Nah, see, okay. So I ain't gonna cap. The Cliff Bar, like the chocolate mint. See, I like chocolate mint. So like I know I'm a weirdo, but I like chocolate mint. So like
weirdo.
So it tastes like a Girl Scout cookie to me. So like I'll just eat them things. Like, it's like a healthy Girl Scout.
You know what else? You know what else tastes like a Girl Scout cookie?
What?
A Girl Scout cookie.
Yeah. But I like
a Girl Scout cookie. But you want to be healthy. I understand that. If anybody understands wanting to be healthy, it's me. Although recently, it's not that I've been I haven't been eating like crazy, but when I was in my weight transition, we'll call it, I was eating like so healthy that it was gross. Like the food you eat was not good, but like it helped you lose weight. It was like stuff that you didn't put seasoning or salts or sugars or all that stuff. It worked though. It worked. I made it through. I need to start doing something not like that again, but I need to start doing more of that again because I kind of went off the wagon a little bit with food. I stopped really caring a little bit, and I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of want to eat this. But I got to a good spot. I mean,
I see the skin glowing. I mean, bro, you skinny, Schnabel, cheeks in. You know what I'm saying?
Cheeks in, not out. That's like the biggest one.
Cheeks
one
in.
Chin to count.
You know what I'm saying?
Although the shadow makes it look like I got like 6 right now, but like that's just the shadow.
Bro, you can just be like, hey, don't even play with the drippy right now. You feel me? Got the Super Mario with the Fox power up on them. The 88, the vintage joint. You know what I'm
88.
saying?
My sister got this for me. Shout out to my sister for getting this for me.
I could wear an anime shirt. Actually, the same type of
change on camera.
Change on camera. That'd be gangster, wouldn't it? I just blur on my thing and then come back and then new different shirt. Like, what's up?
You know what's funny about this shirt is I love it. I love this sweatshirt, and I'm so scared to wear it because I don't want to get it ruined.
Oh my
Knowing
God.
that, I'm sure like it wasn't like crazy expensive or hard to find or anything like that, but like I like it so. And that's the bad thing with shirts with me. Like I'll get a shirt I really like. I have 2 shirts. I have Super Mario Sunshine and Super Mario Odyssey when they had the collector's editions come out. I got them. Actually, my girlfriend got me one and I got the other one. And like I want to wear them, but I'm so nervous to wear them because I don't want to go out and ruin them. And then like, it's bad.
How
I'm
do you
bad
be
with
ruining
clothes.
shirts? I don't know. How do you be
It's
ruining
something
shirts?
that's
Because
the thing.
I
Like,
never do that shit.
but that's the thing. You
thanks.
don't do it. You don't do it because you don't wear shirts. You wear shirts you don't care about. So nothing happens to them. The universe doesn't care enough. But when you're like, I love this shirt, I don't want to get anything on it. That's when something comes out of nowhere and gets on your shirt.
I'm gonna tell you what that happens. You know what happens to me a lot? That's equivalent to that.
Drop food.
No, my sneakers always get little cuts on.
Oh,
them,
I gave up
marks.
on that.
Oh
I gave up
God.
on that. If you cared about sneakers,
shit
if you cared about sneakers, you go nuts. You could never be able to wear them because it just anything happens. I had sneakers that I didn't wear when I just worked at the US Open recently, and I had sneakers that I got specifically for that. I liked them so much I didn't want to wear them because I didn't want them to get scuffed, and they wouldn't have got too scuffed. So the first time I wear them, it was at the US Open, but I wasn't working. I went to one of the finals. First day I wore them, something got on them. I didn't wear them the entire time, so nothing happened. Nothing happened to any other shoes I had. None of those shoes, they all came out great. I wore them for weeks. I wear this one time and something got on them. So like it's how it works. That's how it works. I'm nervous right now. Something's gonna fly through the window or something. The window's closed. It's gonna open. Bird's gonna come in, poop, get all over this. It's very nerve-wracking. It's very nerve-wracking. But other than getting stuff on your shirts and your shoes, some cool stuff has come out that we really want to talk about. So we're like, we got to get back on. It's a little older news now, but like to us and to our listeners, it's old news still, but it's new from us. Hearing our thoughts is new. So you're going to hear our thoughts on it, which is brand new thoughts on it. The first thing I'm going to start with is some of the Marvel shows. Now, you've only seen WandaVision, I believe you've told me, or you're working on the other ones right now.
Yeah, I'm smooth into Loki.
Are you in Loki yet? Or are you about to be?
That's cute. It's cute.
I will tell you right now, and this is for anybody that hasn't seen them, and if you've seen them, you probably agree with me. They're all important. They're all worth seeing. I'm going to throw Black Widow into this as well. They're all important and they're all worth seeing. But I'm telling you right now, Loki is the most important one to watch.
Okay.
Hands down, the most important one to watch.
Did I give you my thoughts on WandaVision?
No. We were saving it for this.
Okay, so real talk. I like WandaVision. At first, I was like, I can't rock with it. But since I'm an actual like TV watcher and I like TV shows for real, I was like, all right, let me for real give this a chance. But once I realized like it was like a sitcom from each era thing, when it switched to like that other one, I said, oh, there's something up. I said, there's something up. Like that's like second episode. I'm sitting there talking. I'm like, bro, there's something up. There's something up. There's something's up. Because when you seen the first red thing pop out, I'm like, yo, why is this thing in black and white and there's this one with that one red thing? I said, there's something up. I said, something finna go down. And I'm sitting there, bro. When I figured out that whole town was all there just because Wanda, and when they was like towards the end, when they were all like, Wanda, you can really stop this. Please, Wanda. Bro, I almost cried, bro. I was sitting there like, yo, that's wild to me. And just the way her powers just took crazy like that. And then at the end, when you just see her literally become the Scarlet Witch, that she was prophesied to be. And she was like, well, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, now I kind of want to see her fight somebody because I think she's going to start marking. She's going to just pull up and wreck it.
She's the most powerful. I believe she's labeled as the most powerful being in the entire universe. But it's just, she uses it for good. So you don't see until, because it's funny, like you know her as a hero, but she's the villain of the show.
She's the great villain.
She really is.
She's the hero and she's the antagonist and the protagonist.
Both.
I love it. But by the way, that was genius.
Putting as both. And then you gotta you start to figure it out and you think she's the hero the whole time, but she's really not. But like WandaVision was great. I think my favorite one, and I might be in the minority on this, or maybe the majority, was Loki. I actually really enjoyed Loki, and the ending of Loki is probably the most important of any of the shows. That's why I said it's probably the most important.
I'm gonna have to go for watch that.
and it kind of is like WandaVision. I was the same way with WandaVision. I started it one day and it took me a minute to get into it. It really did. I was like, I don't know if I want to watch this. And then like, it was really like 2 months later when I actually watched it. So like when it first came out, I was like, I should watch this. I was like, I'm not really too into it. I was trying to do it when I ran, which if you're a runner and you like having something on, like on a treadmill, WandaVision isn't it. It's not it. It's just not moving enough. You know, it's not going there. You need a certain amount of movement in a show to do that. My Siri just popped up. That was weird. Anyway, you need a certain amount of movement in a show to do that. And that just wasn't it. But then when I was on a plane, I downloaded Loki and Winter Soldier and WandaVision. And I watched WandaVision, then Winter Soldier, then Loki.
Okay, question.
Yes.
Two questions actually. First one
at a time.
Yeah, I will. The first one is about WandaVision. The second one is going to be about the Winter Soldier. First, about WandaVision. There's a rumor that her kids that she fabricated in her little life with her vision are real now because they came out of her little world into the real world.
I don't know.
If that is the case, then that means that nigga Vision can come the fuck back.
Well, I have a feeling Vision's gonna come back in some way, shape, or form.
I shouldn't be cussing, right?
My bad. Anyway, it's all good. Okay. I don't know. I think Vision's gonna come back.
Yeah.
I think that I don't know how. It's just like I think Gamora is gonna come back.
I think
Gamora already came back, right?
I think everybody who died is coming back.
I don't know if everybody, like, I don't think Tony Stark's coming back. I think that's it for Tony Stark. Unless they bring him back unless they bring an alternative version of Tony Stark. But Robert Downey Jr., I don't think is coming back. Not a lot, at least, as Tony Stark. I think he's done with that role.
But okay, so
Chris Evans.
Chris Evans, yeah. I'm gonna segue into the next thing because I wanted to ask a question, but I'll get on Winter Soldier another day. But
well, no, go ahead. Ask the Winter Soldier one.
Oh, okay. So the Winter Soldier one was is that show as political as I heard it is?
It's very political, yeah.
Is it like weirdly political? Or is it one of the okay.
Can be.
I heard that it is, and it's like the whole dichotomy of being a black
Captain America.
And all of that stuff.
Yeah, that's like a heavy topic on it. But the thing with Winter Soldier, I thought it was okay. I didn't like the villain. I didn't like the villain in it. It wasn't that believable. Also, I mean, Winter Soldier and the Falcon are probably two of my least favorite Avengers.
Yeah, I don't like neither of them because
I'm not a big Winter Soldier is just too bland. Winter Soldier is just too bland. Like you see him a lot, but he's not like, he doesn't pop, you know. And Falcon, I don't know.
I dislike him. And Captain America. Captain America is just like Superman, just a Boy Scout. You're corny.
Yeah, you've said that opinion before. That's how he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be that way.
I'm an anti-hero kind of guy. So, but here, go ahead.
The guy that, so in the show, not to spoil a lot of it, but there's a guy that they anoint the new Captain America. That's neither of them, because obviously Falcon's supposed to be. I've
heard all the stuff.
And he's not.
He like kills everything or whatever.
Yes,
he's one of those kind of dudes.
So he's not a super soldier like Chris Evans' character is, or I should say Steve Rogers, like Steve Rogers is. So he tries to get the serum, which that's what the villains are doing. They're like all becoming super soldiers, or most of them are, because they're stealing serums because they're fighting the government, but in the wrong ways. That's kind of what the villain is. It's not like a super villain. It is.
It's a concept.
That's why I say it's political in a couple of ways, because like it is kind of political because they're fighting the government. It's not like a normal villain or a classical villain. It's much different than that.
But there's ways to do that without being corny though. It could be like the concept could.
It's a TV show. It's not like, if it was a movie, I think it would have been completely different, but it's a TV show. You're not putting as much, you're putting a lot into it, but not as much as you would something like Black Widow or something like that.
Because like, to me, it could be an organization that embodies a concept.
Well, that's what it was. It was an organization that went against the government.
Yeah, but it has to be like a legit threat though.
That's the thing. They were, because they were taking serums to become super soldiers.
I just think
they became a terrorist group, basically. They were never labeled as villainous group. They were a terrorist group. They were terrorizing things and stealing the serums and then giving them to the people like their group or people that need them and stuff like that. It was, I could say this right now. What? I could spoil the show for you. I'm not going to on here. I can do it off air. I can do it for you off air, but I want to do it for people listening.
Yeah, because
I can spoil the show for you. And you don't have to watch it, and it won't change a thing. I really don't think it'll change a thing. I think the only show, maybe WandaVision, but the only show, to me at least, that I can I've only watched them all once. Loki is the most important one, because I think what happens at the end of Loki is going to change the entire dynamic of the MCU.
Because I know he messes with timelines and stuff.
Yes, it's all about timelines and Owen Wilson. It's about timelines.
I'm gonna start it tomorrow. I'm gonna start it.
You should. And go ahead.
Because I have some time tomorrow. I actually have a little bit of time. I have some time tomorrow.
Wow.
A little bit. For you. So I'm gonna probably watch a lot. I'll probably make some chocolate chip pancakes.
Nice. Chocolate chip pancakes and Loki. Well, another one I think you should get on is the What If series.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, Black Widow, my opinion, make it quick. I was not a fan of Black Widow.
Really?
Maybe that's just my opinion.
Is it on Disney Plus?
It is, but it was like a Premier Access thing.
Oh, okay.
I didn't hate it. It was almost like a family reconnection movie. But one thing that came out of it that is amazing, and I'll leave it at this: Taskmaster. They put out the Taskmaster.
Are you serious?
So yes, he was a part of it. I'm so excited for that. That part is great. That's part is so great.
Because Taskmaster is a dog.
Yeah, he's one of the coolest villains. I mean, like, he literally can replicate anyone that he watches. So like, yeah, so Taskmaster, that's all I'm going to leave that at. But going to the What If series, it's funny because the What If series is just like a kind of runoff series. I think it's just to bridge a gap. But when I watch it, I'm like, I wonder if this is going to tie into the MCU.
Where can you watch it?
It's on. They're all on Disney Plus.
Okay.
Everything Marvel's on Disney Plus. Gotcha. It's just you're just following different timelines. Basically, it's different stories.
Oh, okay.
Like what was the first episode? This is the thing. There are some episodes that were great, and others that are like, they were okay. Like, I really liked T'Challa as Star-Lord. That one was great. It was, what if they got T'Challa instead of Star-Lord? What the heck's his character's name? You know, Chris Pratt's.
God, are you serious?
And it was really good.
I bet they were. I bet they were monsters. I bet that crew was. I bet that crew was lit.
It was good. I like that one a lot, and it was voiced by Chadwick Boseman, which is like awesome. It was right must have been right before he died. And the way he did the character was so cool, because like, he had his, T'Challa self, but he also had like the wit and mannerisms of Star-Lord.
That's so cool.
It was cool to see it, and I really enjoyed that one. The Doctor Strange one, where instead of getting an accident and his hands break, he gets in an accident and his girlfriend dies, and it's like he's trying, and so instead of going to learn how to reuse his hands, he goes to learn the arts to bring her back. And you find out that her death is an ultimate point, meaning it can't be changed, and if it changes, it destroys the entire universe. That one was really good. I really enjoyed that one. Not as much because of, like, it was entertaining to me, but that one, if you've ever read an original Doctor Strange, it's not like the comic itself, but it's definitely darker and more toward that, it's very original Doctor Strange. What were some other ones? There was a zombie one. That was the most anticipated one, I think, because the Marvel Zombie series is obviously like, everybody loves the Marvel Zombie series. It was okay. I was a little disappointed because I heard Tom Holland was supposed to be Spider-Man in the What If series, and then he wasn't, which is leading the rumors of him being recasted. I think that's ridiculous. I like Tom Holland as Spider-Man a lot. We'll get more into Spider-Man in a minute as well.
I like him as Spider-Man too.
I like
him more controversy
than Tobey Maguire.
Yes.
This is a Tom Holland podcast then, because I am also I like him so much more than because Tobey Maguire was a good Peter Parker. He was a dweeb.
Yeah, he was a good Peter Parker, but he was a bad Spider-Man.
Bad Spider-Man.
And then Garfield was a bad Peter Parker, but a great Spider-Man.
I wouldn't say he was a bad Peter Parker, but he did not have the looks for it.
Can I be real with you? I'm gonna be real with you. I don't like the whole cool Peter Parker thing. Nah.
What are you gonna do? You had Andrew Garfield. He's a handsome man. What are you gonna do?
I know, but it's just like that's why I said he was a great Spider-Man because the wit and just how his movements was and just like his attitude and the age group, everything. Tom Holland, I think, embodies
everything
that is just like what's his name? Robert Downey is Tony Stark.
Tony Stark.
And Tom Holland is Spider-Man to me.
Yeah, I think the same thing. It's actually funny because Robert Downey Jr. like had a drinking problem and hit rock bottom and was a super rich like he was all that stuff, just like Tony Stark in the comics was. Like one of the reasons Iron Man was so big in the comics is because Tony Stark was like labeled as an alcoholic for a whole chunk of the Iron Man series. Like he was a bad alcoholic. And that's not usually heard of in the Marvel because Marvel's usually more kid friendly and stuff like that. But I like Tom Holland as well. I was like, wait, what are we talking about? Tom Holland. I like Tom Holland as well. And I think it's disappointing that they want it's a rumor.
He ain't getting recasted, bro. Because let's segue into the next thing. But go ahead.
Wait, but I'll tell you why it's a rumor. It's because Sony still owns the rights to Spider-Man. So if Tom Holland is under contract with Disney, but Spider-Man's under contract with Sony and they don't come back together, well, then he's not going to be Spider-Man anymore.
Okay. But
that's what it is.
Or since, we can segue because that's going to segue into what I was going to say. Or you could have it to where you have a whole alternate timeline where Tom Holland is a different version of a Spider-Man that they have the rights to. So this leads into, what is it, the No Way Home thing? I like the whole concept of the No Way Home. I like that where like Slick, the whole society is against them.
So here's the biggest question about No Way Home has nothing to do with Spider-Man. Who is Doctor Strange? That's not Doctor Strange. That's not the one we know, at least. There's no way. There's no way that's the one we know because he wouldn't do that. This is the guy that went and looked through infinite amount of timelines and scenarios to see which one they win it to beat Thanos. So this guy has Spider-Man come and say, I want to change everything. I want people to forget. He's like, okay, no, that's not happening. Absolutely not happening.
You know who that now, this is me not even watching the show and just knowing who the character is.
Okay.
And I feel like that might be Loki.
It could be Loki. But I don't know if it would be Loki. It could be a version of Loki. That's something you can keep in mind.
Yeah.
But the Loki main character, I don't think it is. Because the Loki main character kind of is more towards the one before he dies in Infinity War or Endgame. I remember he dies in the beginning of one of them. I think it was Infinity War. It's more towards that Loki than the one that because the one that starts it is the one that transports from the Avengers. Remember he's getting from the one movie, and then the timeline changes because the Infinity Stone drops and he grabs it and he disappears. And that's the one you start with, but throughout the series he becomes more like the one we come to know towards the end of his life in there. Now he's back, obviously. But there are different versions of Loki that it could be. Or it could be who was Samuel L. Jackson in the last one? It wasn't him. It wasn't Nick Fury. It was actually those aliens. What's the name of the aliens?
The crane.
Remember at the end it shows that they both
not the crane. Krang is from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Krang is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Jesus.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People that know it, they know it. They're yelling at their computer. It's this. It's fine. Yeah, but that is what it could be. That's what they could be. There, but it's not. It's definitely not Doctor Strange. There's no way at the end
because he's not movie, because you know what, that makes sense. Because you know what, he would never mess a spell up like that, and he would never mess up.
He would never mess up in the first place. Yeah, because he knows it messes up the timeline. He's the keeper of time. That's why he has the eye on his thing. He's the keeper of time. So something that is so detrimental, it's not. It doesn't make sense.
And you're going to give it to a childish whim too.
And another thing that you're going to see when you go to Loki, now you're going to go in knowing this. That's so it's not like us that didn't know. It's not really a spoiler, but like we didn't know it because the trailer didn't come out yet. At one point, there's a spike on a timeline in Loki, and a theory is this is the spike in Loki. That's like the theory. It's like that spike you see at one point is this, because it's never explained. It's this event that happens because they're happening all in the same universe, you know? Yeah. But my biggest theory coming out of that, and then, obviously, let's go through the rest of it. Then they mess it up. And this is all the trailer, so there's no spoilers. They mess it up, and then you hear the Green Goblin, or not the Green Goblin. You see Doc Ock, and but you don't hear the Green Goblin. You see the bomb drops. The Green Goblin will probably be in it. Like, you see, okay, the universes are now colliding, and we all know that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are rumored to be in it. Like,
and then you see Miles Morales will probably be in it. And this is why I say Tom Holland's going to get a different alternative Spider-Man. And this is how they're going to do it, is by messing up the multiverse. And now you got different versions of different people. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Different versions of different people coming through doing whatever. And now they can come and mess up the timeline. Then you can bring Loki back and you can do all this extra.
Well, Loki, I will say this. Loki is in this timeline somewhere. Maybe not this specific one, but he's in a timeline. But that's not the problem. Like, they could do that and bring in all, but they don't have the rights to Spider-Man. So it doesn't matter what Spider-Man. But it doesn't matter what Spider-Man you bring in. They don't have the rights. They don't have the rights to the Spider-Man universe. That's why Venom is a Sony vehicle, because they don't have the rights to the Spider-Man universe. You know what I'm saying?
Dang.
So
that's what I mean. Marvel. I'm hurting for Marvel.
Well, I think they're like we need to strike a deal now, because if we don't, this guy's supposed to be the next Tony Stark, is he not? Although I don't like, I like the movies and they're a lot of fun. I really wish they'd let Spider-Man be Spider-Man, because he's not in the movies. He's not at all. If you've read the comics, and even if you've done other stuff like played the games or saw the old movies, he is an independent hero. Like, he works with the heroes.
But he's not always clicked up.
He's like a puppy to Tony Stark, which is not like that's not what it is. And it's like
he's from New York, bro. Ain't nobody no puppy from New York.
But that's not even. He's supposed to be a super genius, and you kind of see glimpses of it. But like, he develops his own web shooters. He develops all this stuff. Like, he develops all the tech in his uniform, in his costume. He does all that. But in the movie, it just makes it seem like he's just like a second or third dairy character, and at that part, like, frustrates. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I've read like the first 300 issues of Spider-Man, if not more than that. I've read all the other newer ones. I've read the ones from the 2000s. Like, I've read all this stuff and played the games and watched the old movies. I love Spider-Man. To see them, like, although the movies are fun, to see like the kind, unless they develop him out of that. Another thing with Spider-Man is, if you've ever read the original comics, he's in high school for like 45 seconds. It kind of starts in college. Not really. It's not really, I don't know why high school has become, maybe because high school movies, especially when Tobey Maguire was doing it, those were the thing, were the high school movies and shows. Yeah. And then they kind of just stuck with it. But like, you don't really see him in high school. And even in those movies, I think they were out of high school by the third one. If I remember, I haven't seen those movies in a while. But I think they were out of high school by the third one. But like, he's mostly in college. But there's a lot of things that are changed up. But they're going to change things. Obviously, you're not going to follow it word for word. Nothing's ever good word for word. It's just, I'd love to see him be more independent. I mean, even in this one, think of it like he's still not independent. He has to go to Doctor Strange to solve his problems.
True.
You know, and all he has to go to Mysterio to solve his problems. He has to go to Tony Stark to solve his problem. Like, he doesn't need that. Like, he's Spider-Man. Like, he's one of the biggest heroes in all of superheroes. Like, you put them all on a list, it's going to be DC, Spider-Man, DC. Like, he's one of the biggest ones out there. But
they did him dirty.
They wouldn't do this to Wolverine.
Well, they have the rights to Wolverine.
I know, and something's going to happen. I know they're making a game already. Something's going to happen with Wolverine. But that's my rant on Spider-Man a little bit. I went from like a really giddy, like, yeah, this is great, it's great, to there's a full-on rant.
No, that's perfect though. That's good content. That's good content. Because like the thing is like I love the whole alternate universe thing, and I understand it, and it's a really good concept. But like to me, Marvel overdoes it. Like we all know I'm a DC guy, but like DC to me does it like okay, like hey, this is what an alternative Batman, alternative this person, alternative that person. At least they don't try to like merge timeline. They leave everybody where they at.
I'm pretty sure that DC did try to merge timelines in a comic once, but you can't even talk about their movies because they're uncomparable.
Well, we're not talking about movies.
No, but that's the thing. Like,
yeah,
DC's comics, like if you're looking for content, it's not even
different.
arguably, it's better.
Yeah.
But like, if you're talking about movies, again,
it's
not
movies,
arguable. It's better. Yeah,
it's not even
so like,
but
that's what I'm trying to say. Now, if we're trying to balance it out by like taking the best with the best, that's what I'm trying to say. But I'm pretty sure in the comics they do merge timelines in DC at some point.
Do, but not as much as Marvel does.
Well, Marvel is always there. It's not that they're always looking for a story. There's just so many things coming. I mean, DC has a lot coming out too, but they have a lot of different series. Most of the Marvel stuff is in its own universe now because of the movies. It's because of the movies. I mean, they've always been like in the same universe for the most part, but like I feel like everything now is combined together that comes out with Marvel. But maybe that's just me. I don't read as many of the new ones as I used to, but when I do, it's like they're always like for example, like the Miles Morales game came out with a Miles Morales comic series revolving around the game. You know what I mean? Like they're always merging things together.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know if that's how it came out or not.
I mean, it's a good selling tactic. To merge things. It's a good selling tactic. Because think about it, you will want the commemorative, comic book with the game that you just bought. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's more like how Cartoon Network used to do the 2010 shows, like especially shows like a regular show and Adventure Time. I think they even crossed worlds once. Yeah, but what they used to do is, and Steven Universe does this too, they would make comic books as continuations to the stories. So like if you love the show so much, you want to get the comic because it's a continuation of the story. You know what I mean? And that's I think that's cool. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool. That's a good way to sell. I mean, you're gonna get these people that want the world to continue. And we're gonna go right, world to continue. That's a great jumping point here, because the next thing, which way excited about, like over the top excited, is Spider-Man 2. The trailer dropped. Oh my goodness. That's gonna be hard. Oh man.
I get to play as Miles Morales. I'm playing straight as only Miles Morales.
Well, actually, honestly, I hope that they don't have inner switching, but we'll get to that in a second. But like, first of all, Venom.
It's gonna be hard. I hope we get to have a symbiote suit. I hope we get to have a symbiote suit.
Well, we don't. I don't think we do unless. Here's a theory I have with the symbiote suit, because I really hope it's not Harry. I get they make their. You played the first one. I don't know. Maybe it's the first one where you see Harry in the symbiote, right? Mm-hmm. So like, I get that Harry has the symbiote suit. Like he's supposed to be the Hobgoblin or the Green Goblin, whichever one you want to put him as, but he's clearly has a symbiote suit. So what I'm starting to think is, here's one theory I have, because I don't want him to be. I want it to be someone else. I don't want it to be Harry, because I want more. I want more of Harry. You don't ever see him. Yeah, he's a good character, and you never see him in the entire thing.
He's a great Hobgoblin, bro.
Yeah, well, I don't even mean that. I don't even mean like that though. You don't see him at all in. You don't see him at all in the game. Like he has the little
yeah.
missions that he's a part of, but he's like, you know, Mary Jane's a huge part of the game. Like even Aunt May was a huge part of the game. Like these characters from Spider-Man, but Harry, who's his best friend from college, is not really in the game. So I wanted to see more of him. So what I'm hoping is that now, for people that don't know, it's Spider-Man. They go out to space, to war. He gets a symbiote suit, he becomes stronger. He comes back, he realizes he's taking over his movie, he gets rid of it. And Eddie Brock gets it. Eddie Brock puts it on, he becomes Venom, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I probably skipped over a lot of stuff there. I know I did.
Yeah.
So what I'm hoping is Harry has the symbiote, right? And sheds out of it somehow. And it goes to maybe Eddie Brock, maybe whomever. But just because I want more Harry. It's a theory that's not going to happen, but I want it to, because I want Harry to be an individual character. I want him to be a character we learn more about before he's just written off as a villain. That's what I really want, because then he's going to be written off as Venom. He's going to be written off as a villain, and if he's Venom, it's going to be very hard to change from that. But and I keep talking, then I'm going to let you have your opinion. I got one more thing to say.
Go for it.
Craven the Hunter. That's who's talking, man. That's who's narrating. That's that voice you hear. Craven the Hunter. Oh, that's gonna be. You know who Craven the Hunter is? Okay, so Craven the Hunter is he's like a big game. I don't want to say he's a poacher, but he's a big game hunter. Like he only wants to get the biggest game.
Was he in the Spider-Man animated series?
Yes. Yeah, he's like wearing
the homeboy. He got the big coat with the big gun.
He probably, there's a lot of different iterations of him, like, but he's always super big, and he's always chasing Spider-Man because he wants to get the biggest game. He wants the biggest animals. So like Spider-Man is technically an animal, right? He's a spider. So that's the most dangerous game. So that's what he wants. And that's who he hunts.
Yeah, I know who Craven the Hunter is.
Yeah, so Craven the Hunter that's the guy narrating. When we hear the narration, I think it's in like Russian or something. That's him. That's going to be him. It's got to be him. I'm like 99.9% sure that's going to be him, and he's going to be part of the game, which is awesome. If you ever played The Amazing Spider-Man 2, he's in the video game as well. But he's going to be I think that's two villains right there, Venom and Craven, that are just like top-notch villains that I'm excited for. I have more opinions, but I'm going to go over to you because I just talked for like 15 minutes straight about Spider-Man without letting you get a word in. So go ahead.
Nah, that's straight. Nah, you took everything. You got it, bro. We can go on to the next everything.
Thing. You got nothing else?
You got it. I just said I'm going to play. I told you I'm just going to play as Miles Morales and go ham.
So I
just want a symbiote suit. I just want a symbiote suit. That's all I care about.
I think if you get the symbiote suit, it's not going to. So
I don't care about the powers. I just want the look.
Yeah, the look is pretty dope. The look is definitely pretty dope. I think one of the ways it can go is, by the way, I said I don't want like the switching. I'd rather them just kind of tell me who I'm going to be, because I love the way they storyline in both games. The stories are so good in both games. And like, if you can complete the story as one character and as the other character, it's going to make the story way more generic. Okay. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you can switch between Spider-Man and Miles Morales, like in like Ultimate Alliance or something like that, then it's going to be like, it has to be more generic of a story, because it has to be able to fit, why is Miles here at the time, or why is Peter here at the time, instead of like, Peter is supposed to be here in this fight and he's supposed to be in this cutscene. You know what I mean? It'll make the story better than like, it can be either of them, because it's very generic of what's happening next. So I'd rather them tell me I have to be Peter, or tell me I have to be Miles. And then if they're both supposed to be there and they're both in the fight, I don't really care about the switching then, because the next thing that happens is supposed to involve both of them anyway. You know what I mean? But like throughout the game, I don't want to be able to, because then you're just going to play the game as one player the entire time. And it's going to be a really story. So, and it's good. And for me, it'd be Miles, not because I like Miles more than Peter. Peter Parker is my favorite Spider-Man. That's the one because that's the one I grew all the way up with. But like, because he's more powerful. Like Miles Morales is the more powerful Spider-Man. He has more powers to him, and he's easier to fight with because of it. You know, he has the electricity, he has the invisibility, he has all, and he's just stronger, like because he had the manufactured spider. Like, so he's just more powerful with Spider-Man to use. That's what I'd want to use the whole time. But then you're gonna hit a cutscene with Mary Jane, and it's gonna be Miles instead of Peter. So now it has to be super generic instead of like the love interest one. You know,
it's gonna be really weird.
Be really weird. So I'd rather them just tell me who I'm supposed to be. Like, even though like in the first Spider-Man, like the missions where you're Mary Jane running through the museum, or Miles running through the through the explosion, like those are not my favorite missions. But
those are too hard sometimes.
It's not even, they're just not as fun as going up and beating people up and all that stuff. But like they're crucial to the story, and that's why I like them. Like, I don't like playing them, but I enjoy them being there because they're crucial to the story for the most part. Like the Miles one going through the city hall after it exploded is crucial to the story. You know, like finding out the art stuff is crucial to the story at the end. So like, I don't mind those missions because the story is so good, especially the first one. The second one was really good too, but the first one had such a good story. Like, so I like that stuff. So that's why I don't want switching. All of that is why I don't want switching. And then for the symbiote suit, a cool theory is either Peter or Miles get entangled with the symbiote suit and become the villain for a little bit. That would be a good one. And they're much stronger.
I say let it be Peter, just because Peter Miles has to save everything.
I think so too.
Peter has already had exposure to the symbiote suit.
Well, not in this universe.
Oh, not in this universe. Oh, crap. But that would be still cool since we've already seen it before.
Yeah, but in this universe, you know, it's Harry was sick, and now they're trying this experimental stuff, and they tried this experimental thing, which is the symbiote, and the symbiote takes over him, and he's gonna end up being Venom and all that stuff. But I think that'd be cool if maybe in the beginning you kind of hit him and the symbiote comes off, and then you see it's Harry, and Peter's like, Harry, and he runs up. He's talking to him. While he's talking to him, the symbiote climbs up his leg and takes over. And now he's kind of like the Venom. And now Miles has to stop him. And then during all this, Craven gets word of, 2 Spider-Men. I want to grab them. And then you kind of beat Venom, and then Craven's there. And I mean, it could be a lot of stuff. Plus, Craven's also part of the Sinister Six. So maybe they try to do that again, too. That was in the first one, obviously, the Sinister Six. But
yeah, that was a hard mission.
That was a lot of Spider-Man going on right there. I got so excited. I took all the words out of your mouth. This podcast should just be called Chris Talking Spider-Man for 45 minutes. Because that's all it was.
Hey, it's okay, because we all know that there's sometimes I go on very long rants. So you're good.
You know what? Let's switch off of Spider-Man really quick and talk about something I've been dying to talk about. For months. And I have a feeling you're not going to be able to be included in this though, but let's just bring it up to see. Did you see the new Space Jam?
No, but I've heard about it from my kids.
It's so bad.
And I heard the same thing from my kids, and they were like, funny story. So on Wednesdays we have like block days, so the classes are 2 times longer. So, but this is the same amount, but we only have half the classes. So instead of having 8 classes, we got 4, but those 4 classes are like twice as long. So the second half, I said, doing extra stuff, we're gonna watch Space Jam. And so we were watching Space Jam, and one of the kids was like, yo, the second Space Jam, I'm kind of sorry.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Tell me about it, and I can talk.
So, okay, well, I could just tell you right now, it's not a movie. It's just a marketing. It's a 2-hour long marketing commercial. Like,
are you serious?
It's so bad. So I'll tell you my favorite parts. My favorite parts being the worst parts that like I just saw and just enjoyed because it's so bad. First of all, it was just Warner slinging it. Showing we own Batman, we own Harry Potter, we own Hunger Games, not Hunger Games, Game of Thrones, we own this, we own that. It's like we don't care. Like, no one cares. We know you own Superman.
Okay, how did they do that?
So like at one point they're jumping from different Warner Brothers properties. Like they went to Gotham and they went to not Gotham, they went to like Sin Superman's there, and then they went to the Harry Potter and this person's there. And then after they do that, they have a whole nother scene where they're flying through and you see all the worlds like Harry Potter world, Game of Thrones world, Gotham. Like you're like, come on, like no one cares. God. And then so before the big game, so the plot of the movie is LeBron has his kids. He wants his kids to be basketball stars. The kid doesn't want to be a basketball star, but he's like, no, you got to work hard, become a basketball star. He wants to design video games. So he designs this basketball game that's not really a basketball game. It kind of has its own, you know, different things to it. And Don Cheadle is like, he's like a computer, and he sees that he takes his son because he wants LeBron for, I don't remember why, kind of lost some brain cells watching this movie. So he takes his son's like, yo, this video game is really cool. Let's make it. And he's like, okay, let's make it. And they make the video game, and his son challenges his. So then Don Cheadle tells LeBron, like, if you want your son back, you have to beat him in the video game in real life. And they get sucked into this video game, and I'll tell more about that. That's basically the plot. That's an awfully explained, spot on. It's a bad plot.
That sounds.
You know the plot of the movie by watching the trailer. It's the exact plot in the trailer, so it's like you don't even see the movie. Yeah, you don't even need to see the movie. But anyway, so first of all, when you see Bugs Bunny, LeBron gets brought into you know, the Looney Tunes world, and you see Bugs Bunny. No one else is there. Everybody abandoned Bugs to go to other properties. That's why they jumped to all the properties to find Daffy and Lola, and like Lola's like Wonder Woman, and Daffy's like impersonating Superman, and like you see all this stuff. So you get there, and Bugs Bunny does not act like Bugs Bunny. He's acting like insane. Like it's like not loony, but like insane. Like he's like going nuts because no one's with him anymore. It's really weird. It's a really weird take on Bugs Bunny, but none of the characters ever act like the characters. And then they get them all together and they make the basketball team, and they go through this really short practice, like montage scene. It's not much basketball going on. And then, yeah, it's so bad.
Disappointed.
It's so disappointing. Well, so, all right. So let me go to my next favorite part. So there's this super secret basketball game, LeBron versus Kid, right? No one's heard about it because Don Cheadle just made it up. So they get their uniforms, right? Bro, their uniforms are sponsored by Nike and LeBron. This is a secret thing no one's known about, but somehow Nike got the insight, like, yo, we need to sponsor those uniforms. Like, there shouldn't be any sponsors. It was just created. What are you talking about? So the big game starts, right? And when the big game starts, here's Warner Brothers slanging again, and you see Scooby-Doo pop up, and you see the Flintstones, and it pops up, and you see Harry Potter coming in, and then the Game of Thrones just slinging all their stuff again. Like, look at all the properties we own, bro. So then they're all there. Okay, here's another favorite part of the movie. If anybody that's watching the movie is sitting here like, man, it sounds disappointing, and he actually makes it sound less disappointing. It was bad. So then, and I might be missing some stuff because I watched the movie once and then I decided that's it. But then during the game, so Don Cheadle says, if you win, everybody's free. Like, everybody's free, right? But if LeBron's kid wins, everybody's trapped there forever. So all the characters, and there's regular people in there too, you know, like LeBron's fan, like everybody's in there, right? It's like if you had the app, like, want to watch, you hit watch, you got sucked in, right? So there's real people there, and there's the properties there. So everyone's there. And like, so during the game, so, you know, because it's his kid's game, there's like, you know, cool shot, 500 points kind of thing. So his son's team is up like 15,000 to 3 or something like that. And the people are cheering. It's like, do they not realize that if he wins, you are stuck here? Like, you don't want him to win. Why are you cheering for him? Like, you want him to lose. You should be booing, if anything. But they're cheering for, like, yeah, keep it going. It's like, no, you're now stuck in this court forever. Like, you can never leave because he wins. Like, are you out of your mind? Like, are the fans out of them? But they, it's because they put the generic cheering in every now and then. But then LeBron comes back and learns friendship or something like that, and they win. And the music was also terrible. And so it wasn't even just remember the music from the original Space Jam there were bops. Like, the music in this wasn't even good.
Really?
And LeBron in the beginning of the movie says the exact feeling everybody in the movie, saying this script is terrible. He says it right in the beginning. Doesn't say it, but he's saying it about some other movie, but he was definitely talking about this movie. Like, the script is terrible. It was just for sponsorships and marketing, and that was it. It was bad. And LeBron's acting, by the way, in it was not good. It was not good acting in the movie. Like, it was just overall no redeeming qualities. They tried to really push this Michael Jordan joke so hard. And like, if they would have just kind of hinted at the joke, it would have been funny. But they had, instead of Michael Jordan, it was Michael B. Jordan. Like, as the joke, like, he's like, I got Michael Jordan. And everyone's like, oh, it's Michael. And Michael B. Jordan walks in, and like, if they just hinted at that joke, it'd be funny. But then they kept pushing it along. Like, he starts saying a line from Friday Night Lights and like going crazy. And then he walks away, and it's like, all right, you went too hard on that joke. You went way too hard on that joke. And I give it a 0 out of 10 and do not recommend to watch.
Thank you for telling me that. And I will not waste my time to watch.
Please don't. Go watch anything else. Anything. I'd rather sit outside and watch nothing and just watch grass. Not even growing, just grass. Watch the side of a tree.
And watch Space Jam.
And watch Space Jam 2. It's not called Space Jam 2. It's called Space Jam: A New Legacy. The new legacy is cash cow. Cash cow. Get that money, honey. And that's it. Because, at the end of the day, if you think about it, Warner Brothers and LeBron, they don't have enough money. They need more. So let's take something that's guaranteed to sell box office. He's got people like us that grew up with Space Jam. You got kids that love LeBron James. And you put them all together and they go out and like, wow, this was terrible. And then, by the way, the villains also were terrible. They were the Goon Squad, which I always thought should have been the name of the Monstars. But Monstars are awesome too. But the Goon Squad, I like that. They were like awful. Just like the characters were weird, and like they were all voiced by NBA players, but like just the characters.
How did they get their powers? Did they take?
No, well, it was all created. No. It was all created by Don Cheadle. So like, I think what it was, because the kid, like, because he was LeBron's kid, so he's able to go up to like AD and Dame and stuff like that, and like calculate their stuff so he can make them in the video game. And like Don Cheadle's a computer. It's not real in the movie. He's like just a computer. So he created these characters, and it's like not the Monstars. It's like Robo Dame or something like that. I can't remember what his name is. It's a robot that's Dame Lillard, and he just can get buckets. But like, definitely don't recommend. I lost probably some years of my life and some brain cells from watching that movie. So
thank you for telling me that.
0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. I think that is the spot where we can wrap it up. I think that is the spot where we can go on from there, because that was just a long rant about something that people probably didn't want to remember anyway. Anyone that saw the movie was like, wow, you brought me back to that. You brought me back to that place. That's pretty messed up. But for Kyle and I, thank you for watching or listening, however you consumed us. You can go back and listen to old episodes. I mean, we have episodes on there from a year ago. Then we have one in between there that we released in like July. Now here we are in September releasing another one. Man, we need a more consistent schedule for you guys.
We do.
But things are tough. But thank you for coming on, listening. You can find us anywhere at Sketching Up. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Twitter. We're more Instagram people though. Check us out on Instagram. You can find old episodes on YouTube. Let's look up Sketching Up Podcast, Instagram Sketching Up Podcast. You can find us on anywhere you get your podcasts. If you're listening, you already know this. If you're watching, you can go on to Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, anything like that, and find it. Kyle, what you got for the people before they leave?
Man, just stay dangerous out here in these streets, bro.
Just stay dangerous. Stay dangerous, but humble. Dangerous, but humble.
Dangerous, but humble.
Dangerous but humble. For people listening, I did the prayer. We're doing the prayer hands to stay humble. To stay humble. Thank you guys for listening. Join us again, hopefully soon. We definitely will not have you waiting 3 months again or a year. Neither of those. We'll definitely get back to you sooner than that. Thank you so much for joining Sketching Up. See you later. Bye. Deuces.